Truck's got to roll. The body, can only take a 2.5, 3 hour show. There's not many guys that do that. But even with what did I promise him? The 02, 70, 73. It's a lot of songs to remember. And I don't know how many I've done in this leg in Europe, but I think we pushed it to the limit of what works and what doesn't.
Hi, I wanted to say thank you for everything. I wanted to ask, out of all the amazing concerts that you've done over the last almost 30 years, is there one concert or one tour that really stands out for you, and why?
No. I mean, you remember the littlest opening days of your career. I know that I probably was borderline offending people yesterday because I swear my allegiance to Ireland. And maybe it's a past life thing. Maybe it's because I married a girl of Irish descent. I just feel a kinship here in this place that I don't know. It must come from a previous life. But in that building, I remember once 10, 11 years ago playing there. And it started raining as usual. and I jokingly said something to the effect of, it's raining because the angels are crying, they couldn't get into a sold out Bon Jovi show. As I said that, boom, lightning thunder. I mean, on cue. Scared me so bad, I fell to the ground. And the audience all were taken aback and pissing rain. And I crawled back up the microphone and I said, I didn't know you Irish were so connected. True story. Guy on the radio the next day said, even God was at the Bon Jovi. But, that was just one example. But, man, so many. We've been blessed 1,000 times over. Last night, I think, rates right up there to me in the top 20 all the time. I felt like there was a great connection, and I enjoyed it that much last night.
What is your most important ability that helped you to reach the top?
Full of piss and vinegar, that's I'm a focused, crazy, determined Panzer tank some days. I'm just, I refuse to take no for an answer. That's all. I only ask my guys to give as much as I'll give, and I expect them to give as much as I give. And then they do.
Hey, John. This is Colleen and Ulrich, and we're from Bergen County, New Jersey. So, in the past few months, you've been in local media, newspapers, TV, about your charity work. Philadelphia Soul, the foundation there, your work with high school students, helping them in advance. The one that really has our interest is your restaurant for those families that need meals. Could you tell us more about that, and are there any additional plans to open additional restaurants?
No, not right now, but I think the model is going to really be great. The Soul Kitchen, we started as a pilot program in the basement of a church once a week. And as the economic downturn happened, and 1 in 6 people in America, for those of you who don't know, are hungry. And you never know that, because these are families with jobs and kids and houses, and the truth is times are tough everywhere. And so we started this program where, quite simply, you come to a restaurant, it looks very similar to this. Tablecloths, nice fine china on the tables, and waiters serve you, and you eat nice, healthy kind of meals. And if you can afford to pay, you pay. And if you can't afford to pay, you don't have to pay. But promise me that you'll come back and do something to help us keep the place running. And all it means is come and wash a dish or peel potatoes and do something that you'll see my father or my wife or me or anyone else doing. And so then we ran it out of the church, and we ran it out of the soup kitchen. We got it right, and we finally got a retail space, and it's literally under construction right now. And the next 6 weeks or so, it should be open. But the first one's in Red Bank. And once we get that model perfected, then I'm going to hand the booklet to whomever's interested and say, here, do it in your town. So it's very good, very useful. And for those who want to affect change and sometimes don't know how or who to give money to, you know, your conscience feels good when you give it to some big charity, but you're not always positive it got there. This is case in point. You want to see effective change? Put $20 in the envelope. You should pay for that for you.
Hi, my name is Beate. I'm from Germany. And I thought about a lot of questions, but they're all not very professional, so maybe I have to throw it away. But I love it when you play Hallelujah. And I really love that song. And there's the song on the circle record, Learn to Love. And for me, it does the same. Maybe there's a chance you could sing that.
Good choice. Never got around to it. Just never bothered to do it live. But yes, thank you for that suggestion.
Made in Germany?
Yeah, honestly, why not? We should.
Thank you.
John, hi, I'm Hassan from London. As someone of Turkish extraction, I'm looking forward to your concert in Istanbul next week very much. It's the first time you're going to be there in 18 years. What are your thoughts on that? What can Turkish fans expect? And I also have this pamphlet for you, which Mike will hand over to you. It's about some fans who put together their thoughts, including us, about what you mean to us, what the music means, how you affect us.
Wow, thank you very much. I look forward to going back. It's been too long. I do remember it. I remember enjoying myself.
Keep the faith talk.
I actually did think it was these days, but it was Keep the Faith.
Yeah.
And we went to the markets, and I guess then, you know, scheduling being what it was, and our touring schedule didn't allow for it. But I'm glad we're going back. I think ticket sales are good, so I'm excited.
Come back again.
Sounds okay to me.
Thank you.
Hi John, how are you? Lana from Melbourne. I just wanted to say I'm celebrating my 40th birthday.
I was wondering.
With my wasabi pea. I just wanted to ask, what I really wanted to know is when you're actually singing a song, for example, Roses, I want to know what kind of zone you need to get yourself into to be able to perform the song. Because it seems that when you're singing that song, let's just say, you're in a different world, you're in a particular zone. So do you find that you have to go back to the time when you actually wrote it to be able to...
You can fall back into it. You can fall back into it. It was Four Seasons Hotel in Los Angeles, and that character is true. You know, there's a piano here and that bottle of vodka pounding in my head. It was, yeah. Sometimes you go right back to that place in time, and I can tell you what the lyric is specifically was about. But you know, also it's the relation of the lyric to the fan. The people feel that song is theirs, and that story is theirs. And that's the beauty of a great song, is that those lyrics become not mine, not yours, but everybody's. You know, and these aren't just Moon, June, Spoon, because they go, oh, that's me in that song. So that's one of them. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, John. I absolutely love This Love Feels Right. The first time I heard It's My Life, actually, you just stopped me dead. It was so beautiful from the beginning. And I just wondered if you had a particular favourite song that you
I love that record. I had a great time. You guys hated it. It took me 4 years to get everyone's boots out of my rear end.
Do you have plans to do anything similar?
Hell no. You know, I'm like a kid who gets hit once. You know, I learned. I like that record too. We did it for fun. You know, one thing led to another, and Richie and I were goofing off. And, Pat Leonard, who great producer. We did that for 3 weeks, and I loved it. But People do. And what they said was, you're messing with our memories. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess it makes sense.
It changed the meaning of the song.
I like it. I sold about 4 copies.
Hi.
It's a collector's item.
Okay, we got a serious question here.
Okay.
Jon Bon Jovi is in the mood to be making out with his wife. What song does he put on?
That's pretty funny. Imagine me coming in like the bathrobe sexual healing. We're together for 32 years. You're just happy there's no kids in the bedroom.
Jon, my name's Pam. You've been in the United States Navy for as long as you've been touring, so that's awesome.
Wow.
But I have a question for you. Like the young lady over here, I love this left side post. Obviously, awesome. And I was wondering if you guys ever thought about doing a USO tour in that aspect.
I tell you, nobody's ever asked us. Really? How about that?
Well,
America's band. Nobody's ever asked us.
we'll ask for you.
Okay.
Hi, John. I'm Tammy from Montreal. Thank you so much for doing 5 shows.
Yeah.
Awesome. And as a Leonard Cohen fan, I'm a hell of a fan too. So I have a question of the creative process. I've seen you interviewed, and you say you start with the title first, and then things come from that. Is there a song that stands out at all that completely broke apart the norm of how you write? That stands out, that just sort of showed up?
You know, Hallelujah, the common song that we sing. I feel so satisfied to hear that it took him 5 years to write that song. Because it's so good that it just kills me. It makes me never want to write a song.
I've heard it by Anchor and Lives.
Yeah, me too. It's a whole different thing. But as he said about our version or my version, is that I understood the irony of the lyric. A lot of times I hear kids do that song. And again, I don't want to just give names, but they didn't understand how sexual that song is. That's what that song is. Leonard Cohen looks like that and sounds like that, but he had a lot of women. And that's why. It's those lyrics. They don't like girls are just. Now, getting back to your question about our things, I don't know. I mean, Wanted fell in our laps. We wrote it in 2 hours. Living on a Prayer was written all that day. You know, pop songs like Bad Medicine took rewrites. It's My Life we wrote, you know, in the moment. Born to Follow, quick. It seems that the ones that we toil over weren't as good sometimes, you know, or didn't work out as well sometimes. You know, that we tried to get too smart. But a lot of the good ones come quick.
Hi, John. I'm Maria from New Jersey. Hi. You can live anywhere in the world, some exotic island, but you continue to live in New Jersey, New York area, tri-state area for all these years. What's kept you connected to the tri-state area?
Well, that's where I'm from, personally. That's where I'm born and raised. I spend most of my time in Manhattan. But of course, our residence is still the Jersey house. And Bruce said to me, Johnny, you can't move from New Jersey. Yeah, watch me. Because, you know, I know what he meant by that, is if this is who you are. I don't like Hollywood, California. I don't like anything about it. I don't like the people. I don't like the architecture. I don't like the traffic jams. I think it's the most shallow pool in the universe, full of a lot of self-centered, selfish, bullshit people. Thank you. I don't mind going here to work, but I wish Richie would get the hell out of it. But I'm from Jersey. That's it. You know, I'm just a Jersey science experiment. I like it.
They got it right.
I like it. That's home for me.
Hi John, I'm Sandy from London. My question is, I was watching a program on the television a while back, and there were people from the 60s and 70s talking about how they couldn't write songs like they wrote then, but they want to be more appropriate to where they're at in their lives. So I wondered if you took that time machine of yours, say 15, 20 years into the future, how you would visualize yourself as a musician then.
I don't know that I clearly understand your question. If what you're asking me is if in 15 years from now do I feel that writing what we write the way we write would be appropriate or fitting in the time? What are you asking?
How do you imagine you may be if you were just to sort of just allow your imagination to just progress, you know, go into the...
To say where it's going?
Yeah, just like a fantasy. When you're older.
I'm sure right there actually in the last week. Being in London, surrounded by music, Glastonbury's on TV on a couple of different channels. You got the Hard Rock Hall Festival. You're out there. I look around at some artists that I think either chose not to push themselves forward or time passed them and they didn't want to try to keep up with what was happening. Every generation has somebody that they bitch and moan about. You know, that threat of the next thing. And yet, through it all, the good ones will emerge. And case in point, this week, there's a lot of people slagging YouTube. I happen to adore them. I've always adored them. I like them as people. I love their music. And Bono and I were texting back and forth from Glastonbury, and I was in Manchester. And I said, don't let the bastards get you down. You know, just go out there and be great. In a world that, you know, they saw this generation, there was guys from the 60s that were slagging them in the 80s, and now the new kids are saying they're old and washed up. And I thought to myself, oh, first of all, I'm glad I'm not the only one that's getting kicked around. But, you know, you stay true to what it is that you do and do it well, and then you'll find an audience and it'll resonate. So, as long as it's genuine and pure, it lives forever. And I think every artist is insecure about what he's going to do in the future, what he's going to say, if he's going to want to keep up that fight. Because it's not easy. But should you choose it or it chooses you, it's, you know, the future's wide open. And it's what you make.
Go ahead, John. Front right.
Hi, John. Arden Cheryl from New Jersey. What we want to know, now that you have been on President Obama's Council for Community Solutions for a while, what is your key takeaway, and how do you think that's going to impact both your writing and your philanthropic work?
Yeah, I think it will eventually impact it. You know, I'm the only face or name that anyone knows on that council, the only celebrity, anything, and then we sort of showed them this concept of the way these forums would be held. And because I'd started doing this in Seattle, the first shows of the tour, before the council was formed, you could get the same opinion from 15 as you could from 150 or 1,500 people. But what I've taken away from it is that a number of things. These kids that are caught up in being disconnected, as they call them, disenfranchised youth. A lot of them get into minor, but nonetheless criminal trouble, puts some of them in jail. Therefore, they have a record. Then it's harder to get jobs. There's documentation, simple things like when you're in foster care. You don't have a relationship with your parents or even the place you were born. You don't have an identification, proper identification to get a social security card to get a job. So what I'm getting at is that they need access and they need second chances. And half the population of Rikers Island in New York are there for minor drug offenses that were caused without any assault or guns. You know, so one guy really particularly stands out in my mind. He got a job in culinary school. And because he could wear a chef's jacket and the checkered pants that they often wear in the kitchens, that gave him pass-through in New Orleans so that the cops knew that he wasn't some, young kid that may be or maybe not in trouble on the street. They go, oh, you got a job, go to work. He said, I'd rather have this job for 10 or 15 bucks an hour with the opportunity to grow than make $600-800 a day being a drug dealer and around and get shot. But because I have a criminal record, I have to just be happy to get whatever I get. So that takeaway that I really got out of that conversation was second chances are really important.
Hi, John. The last question. We know you have to go to work tonight. Have something to do. Here's the last question.
Hi, it's Stacey from Alberta. First of all, I just want to let you know I made a scrapbook and made one for you. I'll give it to the guys on record. It's just from a fan to you. He's got it. We all love your songs. We're wondering what your favorite 5 songs are in the world from different artists.
That's a tough question to answer, honestly. Hallelujah would be one of them. Probably 10 Dylan songs we put in there because they're so timeless, classic, and important. Bridge Over Troubled Water would have to be in there. I'm sure there's a handful of Beatles songs that would have to be in there. Tom Waits stuff, Petty stuff, U2 stuff. I mean, I like a real broad range of music. So it'd be hard to give you 50. But it's something that connects with you lyrically. I can't dance, you know that. All right, I have to go to work. I gotta put Humpty Dumpty together again. Thanks all for being here.
Once again,